I'll be honest, like one of my go-to films, like shite films that I watch, I must have seen it loads of times, and it's so bad. But it's 300.
Hey guys, welcome to the Nice Guys of Comedy podcast, with your hosts, Jack, Vincent and Nick Crooks. Oh, and by the way, they're from the north, that's the reason they sound that way.
It's filmed in that much slow motion that if the whole film was in normal motion, the film would probably be over in about 15 minutes.
Well, it's every fight scene's in slow. Yeah, every fight scene's in slow.
You're just like...
But this, I'm not gonna lie, this is how bad actually. When you were mentioning there about the film Gentleman, I was there going, and you started talking about stuff, and I'm there going, wait, what? And then it just dawned on me that you wasn't talking about the 3-hour Robert De Niro film, The Irishman, and that's what I had in my head the whole time, and I was like, what you're saying doesn't add up.
I understand that, but that I enjoyed seeing. There's a lot of criticism aimed at The Irishman. I enjoyed that. That was brilliant. Really enjoyed it.
I've got the attention span for 3 hours.
Well,
in the slightest.
I've had to.
Well, you've got more time on your hands than you've ever had before.
I know.
Yeah, literally.
Wait, have you seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes.
Well, that's 3.5. That's nearly 3.5 hours.
That's a very good film. I do
exactly.
Oh, didn't even notice that. To be
exactly,
fair,
see, if a film's good enough, it doesn't matter.
You know what? You've got a very good point there. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to tune into The Irishman after this because, like I said, I spent the afternoon in the pub. But sometime soon, I will.
It is a talkie though. It is a talkie, and if you're not interested in the subject matter, you're fucked play from the start. it's dialogue heavy.
Dialogue heavy. That's it's a good review. Dialogue heavy.
I think some of the shittest films are the best films. Like, I absolutely love Starship Troopers.
Great, but one of them. It's not a shit film at all. I don't know how you dare. It's Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah, well, no, I will gladly join you on that thought.
It's a marvelous film,
brilliant film. But the amount of people who go, I don't know how you can watch that. I'm like, with ease.
Right, what you do with those people is never speak to them again because they're stupid.
Put them out of your life.
It's genuinely one of the best. It's a magnificent film. It's very, very, very heavy on satire. Like, I mean, the whole thing's about the corrupt government and how stupid they are. And it's Paul Verhoeven who also directed RoboCop and Total Recall and Running Man. So did he do Running Man? I might have lied about that. But he definitely did RoboCop and Total Recall, which is also a very, very, very steeped in satire, which is wonderful films. And admittedly, he did do Showgirls as well, but that's not the point, is it?
We won't mention that.
Everyone's allowed one.
Yeah, exactly. But I love Paul Verhoeven. I love him. I think he's a great director. RoboCop's one of my favourite films of all time.
See, I think the older films, Jack, you're gonna have to brush up your knowledge on older films. I've spoken the old podcast episodes.
The thing is, right? No, this is where to say that at one point I was going to university to study film. There are certain films that I have just not seen, but then equally you'll find like a subgenre, and I've probably seen like mentioned about old films, old horror films. Seen loads, but old films in general, no.
Okay, old horror films. What you talking? Hammer horror and stuff like that. 70s and 60s.
So
or
I mean,
are you talking the 80s?
More. Couple of 70s, like I think Alien is brilliant, and then all the
Aliens,
films.
Aliens is definitely one of the best films ever created.
Easy, brilliant. To be fair, I am one of these people where I'm not really great with names, and also when we're talking about old films, in the last podcast we recorded, I only just watched Back to the Future 3, so I'm not like, and I'm very aware that's not a horror film.
But you have watched the other two, because I questioned that when he said, I've just watched Back to the Future 3. I was like, what, on its own? Like,
yeah, just number 3, and I just disregarded everything else and was very confused throughout. No, but like things like Hellraiser and stuff like that. Like I've seen some these
90s.
Yeah, I would say more 80s and 90s. I've seen a couple of things going into the 70s, but I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, I can't. Like, the old Hammer horrors. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, but obviously it was slightly horrific for people back then. But I mean, like, I think my favorite horror film. People say Jaws is a horror film. It's not. Fuck off. But the American Werewolf in London, one of the best films ever made.
Brilliant.
And I watched one the other day, The Gate. I don't know if you've seen that. It's on Prime. It's Stephen Dorff was a kid in this. Like he was one of the young ones when he was really small. People back. I loved the first remake of It. The second one was absolute dog shit.
As in the 2010 It's.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second one yet. I've only seen the first one.
I haven't seen the
Second one's dreadful. It's so bad. It's like it's one of those ones that there's 100,000 horror films. They're all exactly the same, and you can do like a horror film bingo, and then like cat jumps out when they're thinking, and then when everything quiet down, you go, "Oh, it's just a cat," and then he'll turn around and something and go, you go, yeah, brilliant. But I love an original horror film. There's very, very few. The Stake Land, that was good. I enjoyed that.
that's the vampires, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very Walking Dead, but with vampires. I Am Legend should have been such a good film because that book was fucking magnificent. But what a load of tosh that film was. The best and most proper scary horror film I've seen for years is the Spanish horror film Wreck.
Yes! It's brilliant! Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to lie. When you were talking about favourite films then, I was like, I'm going to mention Wreck, but we're also talking about classic films, and that's not classic. But, yes, Wreck, absolutely brilliant.
One of the best films I've ever seen.
I think every moment in that puts you on edge, though.
Yeah.
That film definitely...
you're like,
it's like you're behind the camera. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Have you seen the American remake Quarantine?
Oh, good God.
But the thing is, what I don't get, right, it is literally a word-for-word remake of that film, but it's shit.
Yeah.
And I don't get. I was like, how can you?
It's because the thing is, right? You're watching it, and if you're watching a found footage film and you recognise one of the actors, that instantly detaches you.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, oh God, they found this video. Did they find it? What was Brad Pitt doing? Let them run away. I
think it were Paranormal Activity when that first came. I mean, I find them actually quite hilarious.
Oh God, they're so bad.
But
it's like, oh no, someone pulled me bed sheets off.
It's the fact that everyone in America literally said it's the scariest film ever. People were running out of cinemas.
But I remember with Paranormal Activity, the two main actors in it, they were brand new actors. I think this was their first or maybe their second film they'd ever done. But after the film was released, they were put into hiding for 6 months to make out that they actually did die in the film. Yeah. And at that point, I was like, you know what? That's kind of clever marketing.
Yeah, I like that, man.
That makes sense. But like you said, like I think the Quarantine film, I think the girl who were in it was from Dexter, and like you said, it ruins it for you. You're like, oh well, I know who you are, but no, Wreck is absolutely brilliant. I've seen
Wreck 2 was great.
I was about to say I've seen the first 3 Wreck films.
The third one was dreadful.
I don't think the third one lived up to the expectations.
The third one was just a shit horror film. It was just a terrible horror film. But that's the good horror films, like 28 Days Later. 28 Weeks was dreadful, apart from the first half an hour, which was great. I loved The Witch, because that was really eerie. The new one, The Witch, that was brilliant.
Seen that, yeah.
Yeah, and Hereditary was good up until the end. They never know how to finish horror films. That's my problem with them. Like, it'll be good, and then they'll be like, oh, it was a monster, and it'll eat your face. And you're like,
yes. I think one of the films that I've watched in recent times that, and I may have mentioned this on before, so if I have, I do apologise, is, have you ever heard of the film called The Strangers?
Yes, it's The Strangers. That's horrible film.
Yeah. See, for me, that terrified me at the time, mainly because it kind of followed the similar suit of your old, like, kind of, not slasher film, but like, you're at home, you're going to get murdered sort of film. But with films like Scream, with films like I Know What You Did Last Summer and all that sort of stuff, the group of friends or the group of people, they did something. What was the reason why they were killed? So, like in I Know What You Did Last Summer, they killed someone. Scream, whatever the reason was. But when in The Strangers, right at the end, just before they're about to kill everyone, the girl goes, "Why did you pick us?" And they literally said, "Because you were in." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm always in." Like,
I love how you've come to that conclusion. That's because you're always in.
God, I wish I haven't got a social life. I am in so much trouble.
I know. I was terrified. I was like, shit, I've got so much shit.
You should be shitting yourself now in lockdown, then, shouldn't you? Pretty much all the time. There's just a fucking group of masked people coming around knocking on people's door. I wonder if these are in. Of course they are.
No, how you think they come around and wearing the masks on, they take the mask off and go, "Oh, you got another mask on." There's just loads of masks.
Outside my flat the other day, there were 3 police cars and 3 arrests being made, and it was the best entertainment that I ever had in about a week. I literally hang out my window, and then I saw two girls from the across the road, and they were hanging out. And I was like, "What do you know? Let me know. Bring me up to date."
Send me like buckets with messages across the road. But I mean, like keep yourself busy. I mean, I've completed everything I want to say on Netflix. I thank God I found Ink Master because that's like 8 series, so I've always got something to watch. I mean,
I haven't watched much of Ink Master this time around, but I used to watch it when it was on TV. And I saw it because I think as well, Amazon Prime must have literally bought all of the rights to anything to do with Ink Master, because there's Ink Master on there, there's the female specials, then there's one where it's people who've been on the show and they're coming back, and I was like, this is a lot of...
Yeah, there's a lot of Ink Master, and then it's Pink versus Thingy or something like that. And there's
and I was like,
it's good, but it's horrendously dated. I mean, it's so sexist. Like, Dave Navarro is sleazy as fuck. Like, he's getting, hey, let's have a look at it. We're not really looking at the tattoo. Imagine doing that now. You'd get all across the bloody course. Which, to be honest, fair enough, because these lasses are sitting there and Dave Navarro's like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck?
That is the tattooing world, though. It's a massively, disgustingly made place.
All my tattoos have been off lasses. One of them's off my girlfriend's mate's girlfriend, and this one's last one in Birmingham. So that was they're always. So I've never had a male tattoo, and the female tattoos tend to be the best. There's one. There's one in Newcastle I'd really like to go to. Who's a lad called Cack-Handed Kid. He's brilliant, and there's also a lass I wanted called Camel. Who's meant I want a Bioshock the game.
Yeah.
I want a Big Daddy, a simplified Big Daddy.
Oh.
Well, I remember my first tattoo that was done by a woman. It doesn't sound like it's like something like special or big and everything. I remember I went into this tattoo shop. It was the only one in Wakefield where I lived at the time, and I wanted a lion portrait. And I said I wanted this lion portrait to the guy, and he said, bearing in mind this was during the time where LA ink and stuff like that was a big thing. And he said to me, he was like, oh, it's not my specialty, but we've got someone in the studio. She's from across the pond, and she's called Kat. And I was there like, is this Kat Von D? Like, is this Kat Von D? I'm there at the age of 18 going, is this Kat Von D? Come back to walk down these stairs. And the person who walked down these stairs was definitely not Kat Von D, because she was bald, covered head to toe obviously in tattoos, and she gave me the best tattoo I've ever had. I don't understand how. I mean, I've had plenty of tattoos. I don't understand how it can not feel. It wasn't painful, and I was like, maybe she just goes softer. But I don't know what it is. And literally now, she's one of the only tattooists where I will literally say to her, "Go, this is a vague idea that I've got. You go run with it." And Kat McIntosh, I think she's absolutely brilliant. She's based.
I'll have a look at her like that.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. She's fantastic. She's a good friend of mine. It was really weird. It's like I did a photo shoot because my friend wanted some photos. He was getting into photography, and obviously me trying to get into comedy, he was like, "Why don't I do some photos for you?" And I was like, "Brilliant." And part of my set at the time referenced about getting tattoos, and also being looking like Henry VIII, which would have worked if I didn't shave my head. But hey. So at the time when we were doing these photos, we thought it'd be a cool idea to like hold a tattoo gun or like do some fake stuff with tattoos. And I literally just put on Facebook going, does anyone know where I can get a fake tattoo gun? And she's like, nah, I'll give you a real one. I went, nah, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I would rather go like,
I was like, probably not a good idea. But literally, I went over to the studio and I went, don't give me a needle. Just give me the gun, but don't put a needle in it because I do not trust myself. And then literally we did the photo shoot, but then lockdown happened. So randomly next to my bed, I've got a tattoo gun, which if anyone comes in, is a very weird thing to have next to your bed.
I'd love to give it a shot actually, because like I've been drawing a lot recently and I'm getting right in the swing of it. And they always use they just basically use templates off. They draw themselves a lot.
Yeah.
They do use, of course, you can't just instantly knock up a really photorealistic portrait. You've got to use a portrait on the computer and then get it done properly. But I mean, they've got it shared so beautifully, and I'd love a go. Yeah. I'd love to tattoo someone. I think it'd be great.
You'll have to give it to him, Jack, and then when his missus wakes up in the middle of the night and goes, you can't leave it now. I'm halfway through.
Where's that tattooist you heard about? Where is it?
Mine, the tattooist or the tattoo gun, because I can get the tattoo gun if you want. She's based in Wakefield, just out of the town city centre.
Nice.
It's not. I would say not too far, but then I realised that you're not in.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a distance.
But she obviously does a lot of the tattoo conventions. So she'll probably be about there. But I think I'll just get, and for those listening at home as well, I'll just get the handle on the Instagram because
I'll check it out because I'm always looking for people to do decent tats. Like, because I mean, I did have a bit of a midlife crisis at 40. I got my first tattoos at 40. One for my birthday, and then I got a BMX for Christmas.
Nice.
Rather than a sports car. Yeah, I got a Mongoose. And then I used to go to the swim baths every day, to be honest, and get up in the pro. And then I realised I shouldn't have got a proper bike, because once this lockdown happened, I thought you can't really just go for a bike ride on a BMX, because you've got to stand up. You can't sit down because your knees are up there.
Yeah.
You look like a little performing bear in a circus or something with a tiny little bike.
Oh, that was fucking sick. But yeah, on Instagram, Catriona Tattoo. She's in Wakefield, and she does spots in Southport, as I've just found out. But yeah, absolutely fantastic artist. But like I said, it's ever since then, for me, women tattooists, I just find that they're just softer when you're going along. I remember I went to Manchester Tattoo Convention, and I got a baby Groot, and I got it on my thigh, and it was by a woman, and it was the softest thing I've ever had in my life. Like, it just feels much better. And then, literally, a couple of months later, I was getting a tattoo, and it was by a bloke, and I was like, I'm about to cry. This is painful. What the fuck are you doing? Although I'd say this, I have had a female tattooist tattoo me, and it was painful, but that was also in a dirty tattoo shop in Magaluf, and I probably got some disease from it.
Yeah,
so,
that is entirely your fault.
That is entirely.
Yeah. She probably told you as well before. She probably went, "This is a needle full of hepatitis B."
And, I only do 3 designs. One of them's a medical bracelet.
My issue is, and I don't even remember the name of the tattoo shop in Magaluf, but this is the issue that I had. We went in, and I jokingly was like, I want a camel on my toe, ha ha ha, camel toe. And he had the design on the print on the side, and I said, I want that. And then he showed me the design on his computer screen, but then with loads of Spanish text. And I'd been drinking for 16 hours at this point, and I was like, I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're saying. And he basically, through translation, said that the price of the tattoo depended on where it was on your body. But I was pissed. So I was like, oh, my toe. And he went, 30 euros. And I was like, right, cool. But it wasn't a little bit later. I was like, why does it depend on where you're getting it? Like, if I'm getting it on my face, do I get 10 quid off? I mean, I'm not going to get a camel on my face, but it's still then I'm like, why does that, not the size, specifically on your body, it changes price? And
I mean, to be honest, the price in the Magaluf tattoo shop would have been the least of my worries. It would be how openly available are HIV medicines. That would have been my.
I love the fact that you went in with the idea for the camel toe as if that was nothing that anyone had ever asked for before, and he went, yeah, here you go. I just got one here. In fact, I printed it off on the last guy that came in.
I was like, his wall's just the wall of camel toes. I just got one.
Well, I feel sorry for this tattoo shop. After the tattoo is only just over a year old and it's basically rubbed off. I'm not giving much sympathy. There was 10 lads who went into his tattoo shop, and we all put stencils on, and only 2 of us walked away with a tattoo. So they thought they were going to get some. Bear in mind, we went to Magaluf out of season as well, so they thought they were getting some right dollar. And then literally half of them, one guy had a chest piece print on, and it was like, yeah. And he went, all right, it's X amount of money. He went, no, and then just left. And I was like, oh, so
just
I guess
I stencil going living.
just wanted that on. I sat there going, oh, I guess that I'm stuck now getting this on because I'm already on the chair getting this tattooed on.
Yeah.
So now I'm stuck with a half a camel stuck on my giant toe.
There you go. Tattoos are supposed to tell stories, aren't they? That one is you're an arsehole now and again.
I mean, it's not just now and then. I also have the phrase "your name" on my foot, so I'm not great with all my choices tattoos. I'd like to point out as well. I do have nice, good, high quality tattoos, but I also have horrendously stupid ones as well. So that's what they're all there for. Next, we need to get Nick, because Nick's a tattoo virgin.
No, I've got a tattoo.
Have you?
Yeah, it's on my back.
What have you got?
I've got
angel wings.
do you know what? At 16
Is it a
years
swag
old,
tag?
I actually wanted angel wings, like Dribble Cisse, the big fuck off ones. But I went against it. No, it's not. It's the Gemini symbol, but it's with two dragons instead of twins, so like mixed in like the yin and the yang. Because obviously it's Gemini. I got it. I know it sounds absolutely bizarre, but it actually looks all right on my back.
I mean, yeah, as long as you never, turn round.
It's not like on a shoulder. You know what I mean? It's like it's the back.
Good lord. That's fair enough. I mean, my mate who's it's just a normal set. He's allowed. He draws for the Viz, and he's from Ireland. He's just a normal, sensible, middle class lad. He's dead sound, and for the longest time, he had a Playboy bunny on his shoulder, and he's had it removed, but we just every time I think about that, it just makes us happy. That this fucking imbecile just in one night pissed get a Playboy bunny on his shoulder.
That is the best thing ever. It's not, and it's horrendous. But the idea of it is brilliant.
I mean, obviously, everyone's got bad tattoos, but the worst one, like when I used to be, back in the day, I used to be using online dating and stuff. I used plenty of fish, which, as we all know, is the very loud noise of a barrel getting scraped. And there was a lass on there. Now, each to their own about what they want for the tattoos. But what is the worst thing you can imagine as a back piece? Now I'm talking sizable back piece, like this big. What's the worst thing you can imagine being on your back? So if you're, let's how can I put this? Like having sex with a lady from behind. This is what you've got to look at. What is the worst thing you can think of?
Oh, it's a dad's face.
No, well, that would have been terrible. But some people got hot dads.
So you're saying if you were getting with a lass and her dad was looked like Joel, you would be all.
Well, that's the thing. But that's the thing. When you met her dad, you'd just be like, "Come on, I'll be up." You'd have one up on her, or one up on the dad straight away. But no, the worst thing, it was on Plenty of Fish, and this is one of our profile pictures. It was a picture, right? Oh God bless her. But it was a picture of a dead child.
Oh my god!
Just about to say that.
Coming through the clouds like that, as if it was an angle, and with the angles. But the text underneath was our name and our date of birth and our date of death, which was like the same week. And but the band, it was such a bad tattoo as well. It was so bad, and it looked like in the clouds looked like she was coming out of a really badly puffy vagina, and also. The kid was so badly done, it looked like it died of shock because it was like this. I was like, that is the worst tattoo I have ever seen.
Oh,
that is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Sort of feeling a bit better about mine now.
Can I just say my favourite thing earlier was when Matt was like, "Oh, we've all got bad tattoos," and I was like, "I think Nick only has the one. So does that automatically mean his is bad?" Which it does.
Yeah.
See, I got that's an 18th birthday present as well. Like I went, it was a big step in my life to get one of them.
My favourite thing, right? So my first tattoo, I was 17, this is how bad I was. I wanted a barcode on my neck, similar, like Hitman, the game.
Yeah.
My head, and I wanted
Blade or something like that.
Yeah, and I wanted this on the back of the neck, but I went on my 17th birthday. So if I went and asked for these particular dates that were obviously a birth year, it would be obvious that I'm not 18. So I made this massive big thing that it wasn't my birthday. I was going on a random day of the week, but it was my girlfriend's birthday, and I wanted to get these things on me. And this birthday, got there, and I explained this. I was so confident I explained this. And he went, "Oh, I can't do a barcode. I can't do straight lines." Now, a normal sane person would have just left. But I didn't. So I was like, "Oh, I'll have a star instead." So
no straight lines on the star,
This is what I'm thinking. There's no straight lines on that. So I'm getting this fucking star put on my back, but I'd already invented this lie in my head. Bear in mind, this tattooist never once asked me a question during all this, but I just continued the lie. So I'm there going, yeah, it's our lass's birthday today. And he's like, all right. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know why I kept saying, I don't know what to get her. And he's like, shouldn't your body got her something if it's her birthday today? I was like, yeah.
You're not the boss of me.
This is why young people shouldn't lie. Because they literally have no other thing apart from the initial lie. There's no backstory to the lie. There's no nothing. You've thought about everything that you could possibly think about and then gone.
I was going to say, it's literally thought of no get out clause, no nothing like.
But I'm the sort of person though. Is I used to have to make a backstory lie if I wanted to return something in a shop because for some reason I couldn't have it in myself that I wanted to return an item. That I'd have to create this massive big backstory that it wasn't me who'd bought the item, but it was my housemate who'd bought it for me, and I didn't really like it.
I used to do that with computer games. In case I thought I'd copy them and sit in the back, because I remember playing computer games when they were on cassette, and you could literally put one in one cassette thing. Put a bit of sellotape over the hole in the top of the cassette, put it in the other, press record, and you'd have a copy of the game.
Oh, wow. Why is that not a thing now?
Yeah.
No.
I remember being like PS1's being chipped. Like you take it to some dodgy bloke down the pub and you chip it.
I had my PlayStation 2 chip. Yeah. I used to get games all the time. I used to have like 600 games or something for the PlayStation 2. It was mad. No, it must have been PlayStation 1 because I've got all my PlayStation 2 games in there, and I'm on my PlayStation 4 saving up for my PlayStation 5.
Oh, you'd be there for a while.
No, it's 450, I think it is.
Oh, is it? Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's come down. It were initially between like 400 and 600, but they've actually said a reasonable price of 450.
But that's the thing. I mean, Sony knows they're going to sell millions of units, so they can put it down at a lower price. But I mean, like I've just been playing Last of Us 2 at the minute. I swear to God, the emotional roller coaster of that game.
I've heard.
The story is amazing as well, even despite the gameplay being amazing.
I can't even handle it. I've also got I bought quite a few games like just before lockdown and during lockdown to see us through because I thought I'd be bored a while. I got Saints Row the Third remake because I love that because it's just so ridiculous because I let my little one play computer games that are far out because he's 15, my little one, and I let him play games back in the day that he shouldn't be playing. He was playing Saints Row when he was 8, you know what I mean? But I didn't realise that. Forgotten all about the weapon range. I came in, he's running around the town with this massive big purple cock, just beating people to death, going, look at this, Dad. I'm like, oh, God. Okay, let's just swap weapons, shall we? And I thought Man-Eater about the shark. So
Man-Eater, completed it, 100% completion. It is a sick game.
I can't wait to play it because big fan of sharks.
I was about to say, if you're into sharks, like as much as I love Jaws, weirdly enough, it's a horrible film. Don't judge me, but I really like Deep Blue Sea. Like, fucking loved it.
I watched that the other day actually.
Did you know there was a sequel?
Yes, bigger, faster, smarter. I think that's the tagline.
Oh my God, that's the tagline.
That is, I only found out there was a sequel the other day, and it was like, that is bad. But no, if you're into like sort of shark kind of films and stuff like that, Man-Eater is brilliant. It's so,
I'm not about it.
It's good. The only thing I would say is it's not a long game. But
I didn't think it was. I got it for 30 quid, so
yeah. I was same. I only got it for cheap, but no, I fucking loved it. It was a sick game, and I think I completed it 100% in like 2-3 weeks. It was brilliant.
I thought the Meg was dreadful, mind. I thought it was dreadful.
It's
just, you know when the thing is if you try to make a film that's niche like that, you either make it so good and thrilling that you go, yeah, okay, well, but it was good and thrilling, or you make it so bad it's funny. But they got caught somewhere halfway. And Jason Statham, where he looks and yeah, let's go fishing. There's 100 different puns he could have done rather than let's go fishing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Jurassic Park just went, instead of like life finds a way, he just goes, let's catch a dinosaur. You're like, what? What are you doing? But I watched a shark film the other day, which I really enjoyed, 47 Meters Down.
Uncaged.
Yeah.
Yep. I watched that. I watched the 47 meters Uncaged, the first one, and I wasn't too enthralled. And then I saw that Uncaged was on Netflix, and I was like, I'll give this a go.
It was really claustrophobic. I quite liked it.
I was scared. I realised they.
Well, I didn't, because I'm a grown man and realise it's a film. But carry on.
Well, no, I realised that my fear is things like that, because I was like, you can't run away. Like, you've got to swim, and I'm not a great swimmer. But the thing that I did find weird about 47 meters Uncaged, not Unchained, that's a completely different film. Jamie Foxx's daughter was in it, and Sylvester Stallone's daughter were in it. I was like, is this how you get on this film? Just be someone's daughter.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was a really good film, and one of them where as well, I was like, who's going to die? Who out of you is going to die? And I was quite happy with some of them, because some of them were just dickheads.
I mean,
But the bit, there's this one bit where they come up and they're just in this, and all they need to do is climb this rope to get out.
Yeah.
And if they've got it, and it must be that horrible weight to get up on the rope, and there's and you can see the dark shit. Well, if you see a shark coming up from underneath you, that's it for me. I'm like, oh Jesus. Because the one thing I'd like to do is swim with sharks. I'd love to do it, because after that, nothing else would scare us. Not a thing. I'd be like, what are you? Are you a great white? No. So why would I ever be scared of it?
No, I'm down with that one. Although my biggest fear, not is shark movies, genuinely biggest fear, can't even walk down the aisle at Morrison's crabs. Not the STI, just the sea creature.
Really?
Terrified. I mean, I'm a vegetarian anyway, so I don't often go down the seafood aisle, but I can't walk down there. I can't see. It makes me feel ill. Going to sea life centres, horrible. I'm literally. Do you know how you go back around a haunted house and someone's like gripping into your hand and it hurts? That's me walking around Sea Life Centre.
So when Sharknado makes Crabnado. What I don't get about, I'm that terrified of a shark being out there that I will
being out there
that I will not that I will not
just peeping around the corner
where I can't touch the bottom in the sea. If I can touch it, I can't do it. I can't swim in it. I'm like, as long as I can touch the sand, I can run back. I can literally walk back and get away. But
yeah, I know what you mean, because I back in the day, after Jaws, obviously everyone was terrified of what, if I learned when I was in Spain on the paddle boats, I was like, what's all these orange things floating? He goes, oh, that's a shark line. The minute my dad said that, shark line, he says sharks tend to attack beyond it, but not in front of it. And it wasn't a shark line, but ever since my dad, I was like, well, that's it. There's too many sharks. Can we just go back? Can we just go back? Can we just go? And then I used to have a thing about wave machines in swimming pools. You know, where it's basically an underwater cage. Yeah. If you swim anywhere near, I was like, well, that's why wouldn't a shark be in there? Why, of course, there's a shark in there.
Yeah. Everyone had that. Is that like Jaws 2? Does that happen in Jaws 2 when it gets into the swimming pool? Is it her imagination?
Yeah, I think so. Have you seen Alligator? The film Alligator.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a bit where they're playing pirates with this kid, and they're going to make him walk the plank, and the alligators escape from the sewer and hide in this swimming pool, and they're going to push him in, and this goes, I'll switch the light on before they push him in. They go switch the light on, and the light comes on, and there's this massive alligator that just opens its mouth just as he falls, and I was like, fucking hell. That was grim.
I do love that genre of film, and I don't mean to sound funny. After we've done this, a part of me is like, I might just go and see what I can find. If it's not
a creature feature. Alligator's good. What else is good? Q the Winged Serpent. That's good. All the creep. I love the horror anthologies. You know, like Creep Show and all that. Some great ones. Some great ones. There's one called Cat's Eye. Stephen King one's all about different stories to do with the cat. There's some brilliant ones in that. Really
that
good.
Does sound sick. Does sound sick. I do love a good horror film, but I like a good creature horror film. Like I said, shark films, fucking love. I don't know what. I think it was because Deep Blue Sea, because of my age, Deep Blue Sea came out when I was like a kid. So obviously I didn't watch Jaws and stuff like that, or became aware of Jaws until I was a little bit older. But I remember Deep Blue Sea, and also I think for about 2 years it was ITV2's faivorite film to put on a Friday night.
Yeah,
it was all.
Yeah, there was that. There's a few of them in there. I think Jaws is ITV2's favourite at the minute. It's on every other week. But
I think it's the fact they killed Samuel L. Jackson. In Deep Blue Sea, that's the fact they killed Samuel L. Jackson in like the first 10 minutes of the film, and you're like,
Yeah, that's great.
okay. How has that happened?
Because he was hot property then, wasn't he? So they must have gone. It must be like, you know, when you get in a taxi with so much money, you just go, just drop us on the corner. That must be what I was like with Samuel L. Jackson. Wait, we're going to have him for 10 minutes.
We'll get him to say some really cool line. We'll get him to say like a really cool line. I've had it with these motherfucking sharks. And this motherfucking lamp.
No motherfucker's ever going to bite my arm off.
Oh, fucking love that. Do you know what? A part of me is like, I just want to watch Deep Blue Sea. I might actually do that. I might go make myself some deep fried food because I'm still probably not pretty inebriated and go watch Deep Blue Sea. It's me sorted, guys.
That was the Nice Guys of Comedy podcast with Jack Vincent and Nick Crooks, recording from their own home and heavily fucking edited. Follow them at I am Jack the and at Nick Crooks Comedy. Why don't ya? #NiceGuys.